Hi everyone, it's Kathy here again from Memories Made Magical, and I've come back to show you part 2 of my Beginners Expanding mini album. So as I said before, this part is actually going to hopefully cover how to make our pockets, flaps, tabs, tags, and then finally put some embellishments on them. Okay, so as I said in the first part of the video, I was going to continue to put a couple of the base pages on off camera, which is what I've done. So I've just put a couple of the pages on there, as you can see. So it gives you more of an idea of how pretty it's going to be when it's finished. I've also done the back of the album, the back cover, and I then again added some more border and corner peel-offs. Okay, so when we open it like so, you'll see the front and the back. Oops, I can pop that down. There we go. So, as I said, I'm going to show you how to make some pockets. So what I'm pockets in the pages. So I've made one already just to show you how it's going to be. Pocket's going to be just like that. So what I've done is I haven't put any hinges or anything on the sides of the pages that you can do. If you know how to obviously do the hinges, that's fine. I do use hinges, but I just wanted to try and bring something that was easy for the beginner. So when I first started doing mini albums, which wasn't that long ago, I used to get quite daunted by hinges. So I found a lovely lady called Anna from Anna's Paper Creations, and she gave me the inspiration for this particular album and did pockets without hinges, which is what I'm going to do today. So pocket is also going to have a nice photo mat, and it's going to slip straight into the side of this pocket here, so that when it goes all the way down to the bottom of the pocket, so that when your album's closed, all you'll see then will be the tab, and it'll also enable you to turn the pages over a lot easier. But then you've got a nice hidden photo mat for nice size photos. It's going to be double-sided. So we're going to move on and show you just how I did that. So I want to put a pocket. I'm going to mirror the album so that we've got these plain pages here, or just whole pages should I say, here, and then the same amount this side. So we've got a plain page there, another one. So these two pages I'm going to stick together and make a pocket, the same as I stuck those two pages together to make that pocket. Okay, so what I did is I just got the two pages that I want to stick together, and I got some of my 1/4 inch tape, and I literally just put a piece of 1/4 inch tape just down the bottom edge and another piece of tape at the top edge of the page. Just like that. And then I'm just going to take the tape off. Let's pop it off with my craft knife. And then I'm going to get some more of my nice glossy accents glue that I showed you is quite a favourite of mine. I used it in the first part of this video, and I'm just going to pop some glue just along the tape. Oh, it's got a little bit stuck up at the end there. Just going to put some tape, some glue rather, just on top of the tape. Try not to get the glue too close to the edge. But again, as you remember, you can wipe this glue off quite easily when it's wet, and it does dry completely clear, so there's not going to be any mess either. So put the glue back away, and then all I'm going to do is take my two pages and try and line them up as best I can, and literally just squeeze the top and the bottom edges together. There is a tiny little bit of glue that's just popped out, so I'm just going to get a little bit of tissue and just rub that away. So that's the bottom edge, and then I'm going to do the same with the top edge. So again, by putting a little bit of glue on top of the tape, it gives you a little bit of time. If you need to do any slight adjustments with the positioning. And also by putting glue on top of the tape, it's a lot more forgiving than if you just put tape on. And you'll know as a beginner, same as I have, that once you've got the tape stuck down, a lot of the time there's no way to budge it without ruining the project. So there we go, so that's our pocket, and as you can see it's got plenty of room for a nice photo mat. And I'll just practice that by putting, where's my photo mat gone? There it is, by putting the photo mat into this pocket and just testing it to make sure it fits alright. So pop that in there, and it will go all the way down and stop at the end where the page actually meets the album. And then when you close it again, all you'll see is the tab, which is quite nice. Now, to make the photo mats. Okay, so what I did was use my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. Now, I've been looking at video tutorials on YouTube and found that the envelope punch board is not just for envelopes. It's very versatile. It makes nice gift tags, and also it does tabs, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. Tabs on the end of your pages. If you haven't got a We Are Memory Keepers punch board, but you have got tab dies, because you can buy tab dies. I bought tab dies, I'm not sure which make that was, it could have been Tonic, but if you search for tab dies on eBay and places like that, they're quite readily available. But if you have got an envelope punch board, then obviously this is how I did it with mine. Okay, so what we need to do is, you will need to start off with a piece of black card, same weight as we used for the pages, and it will measure 6.5 inches across by 5.5 inches down. Okay, so that's the piece of card that we've got there. And obviously because I've got a tab on there, I've already cut it down, so I'll show you how to actually do that. So we take our piece of 6.5 by 5.5 card, and we want it upwards like that to go in the side of our photo pocket. So what we do is we pop your piece of card just underneath the punch, and actually get to 1 3/8, and that's the 1 3/8 line just there. Hopefully you can see that. And then we punch down, and then as it says on here, we then flip over and then punch again at 1 3/8. I'll take that bit off, and I'm just going to flip it over, line it up again with 1 3/8 mark. There we go, we punch it. Okay, then I'll take the envelope punch board out of the way, and I will bring in my glass cutting mat that I've got here. And this was just it's not a proper cutting mat, it was literally just a glass surface saver that I use for my cupcakes, and it was only £1. I bought it from the pound shop, which is now called the 99p shop. But I don't know if in America, I know you've got a dollar store over there, I don't know whether you'd be able to get something like that, but it's just a cheap little cutting mat, and it's glass, so it really serves a purpose. So then what we do is we take our piece of card, and we take a ruler, I have a steel ruler, and then we just line it up. I'm going to probably have to stand up to do this. I'm going to try not to get myself into camera again. We make sure our card is straight, and we just line it up just above the edges of where we want our tab in the middle. And then we take our craft knife and we just cut off the two end pieces. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it and then just line it up again. Just like so. Make sure I've got my fingers on it to keep it nice and steady, because we don't want it moving. Whoops. I don't want the craft knife moving either, actually. Right, so I'm just going to bend over just to do this and just put my craft knife flat down to the, and then pull that off, and there we go. I think my craft knife's probably getting a little bit blunt. So make sure that your craft knife's nice and sharp when you do it. So take all my bits out of the way. And then to finish it off, like I had here, I've got nice rounded corners on there. So on the same board, on your envelope punch board, if you turn it round upside down, you've got here, if I just show you there, it says reverse punch, which will give you nice round corners. So turn it upside down and pop the corners of your photo mat in and punch, and we do this around all four corners. There we go, and then that one should match the other one, which it does, luckily enough. There we go, so that's two photo mats to actually go into our pockets. So if we just try that out just to make sure I've got that correct. So just slip the photo mat straight into the pocket there and go down till it stops, and then the same in the second pocket here. Turn that way. Just line that up. Make sure that goes in nicely. There we are. You can line them both up together if you want to, and also you can just move measurements around. So if you wanted your tab at the end, oh sorry, I don't know if you can see that. If you want your tab on the end and then sort of I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, just stagger them so that you've got a tab here and a tab there, so they stagger down. You can just mess about with your measurements and move your tags up and down the photo mats, but I'm going to have them just in the middle today, so that when you look at the album, it looks as though you've just got one tag sticking out. So they're going to think they've just got one pocket, but of course when they open the album up, they'll see that they've got two pockets and two photo mats. And we're going to make them into double photo mats as well. So we're going to decorate both sides. So that's that. And again, what I'm going to do is in the description box, I'm going to put all the cutting requirements again, like I did with the first one. Okay, so moving on, I then decided that I wanted some flip ups and some pockets, some more pockets in here, so that we've got plenty of room for journaling cards and photo mats and what have you. So this time I'm going to make two flip ups and two pockets. So first of all, we need a piece of card. You need 4 pieces of card to do this, so that's what I've done. I've got 4 pieces of card here. Just going to move that album out of the way. 4 pieces of card, which actually measure 14 1/4 centimetres or 14.25 centimetres wide, so along there, and 28.87 centimetres long. Okay, so to make our flaps and our pockets, what we've got to do then is to put them in half. So because it was a bit of a strange measurement, it wasn't as easy to do this on my scoreboard. So I also thought it might be helpful to show you how to do it without a scoreboard, just in case you haven't got one. So literally all I did was got the piece of card, and on the long edge, just to literally just to make a card with it, like so. So all I did was get a piece of the card. I'll just find my score tool. Here it is, your bone folder. So all I did literally was just put the two edges, lined up the two edges together. Which is a bit fiddly when it's black card, but I can just about see it. Okay, and then I just pop my finger on the edge, just run my finger down, and then just turn it over just to make sure that your edges are together, which they are. And then get your score tool or your bone folder and just literally burnish the crease straight the way down. Okay, so that's what I've done on this one. So then I'm going to do the same on the other two. So get your piece of card again, lengthways, fold it over in half, line up the edges, bend it with your fingers, and then just burnish it down with the edge of your score tool. Turn it over, have a nice crease on that. Okay, so last one to go now. But again, depending on how many pages you decide to have in your album, you can have as many pockets also as you like. This is just a suggestion of something obviously to do. But I do like to have interactive pages when I'm doing my albums now. Okay, so that's all four of them. So then what we want to do is pop them into our album. So I've got a pocket there, I'm going to leave those two plain for the moment, and then I've got a pocket on there. So I think I'll have a pocket here, and then a flap, and then another pocket and another flap. So what we want to do first of all is to glue our pocket, so literally no hinges again. We're literally just going to, as we've folded it over, we're literally just going to stick our pocket straight into our album like this. So we want some tape on the back of that, so that's going to be my back. So what I'm going to do this time to make it stick a little bit better is I'm going to use my inch score tape. So that's an inch width. Okay, and obviously this is going to be the base, so we want it stuck around all four edges. Like that. I'll take off my backing score tape, and then do it on all four edges. And then I'm going to do what I normally do and just pop a little bit of tape straight across the diagonal. Then get a little bit of wet glue. Go along the edges of my tape with my wet glue. Make sure the corners have got a little bit of wet glue on them. Straight across the diagonal. And then just in the bits where there's no tape. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is move that out of the way and just bring the album in again. Oops. So this is the page where I want to have my pocket. So I'm going to stand up again and I'm going to bring my pocket over and I'm going to line it up with the bottom end of my card, my page. Try and make sure that's straight as I can get it, and just stick it straight down onto the page like so. So at the moment we've got a flap, which is fine, that's exactly what I want. I'm going to be turning it into a pocket in a minute, but what I'd like to do first is to put some designer paper just on the edge, top edge here, so that when that sits like so, when we do put the pocket here, we can line it up so we've got a little border. And then what I'm going to do is have another piece of designer paper, oops, actually those aren't for my pockets, are they? Or are they? I can't remember. Oh yes, they are. And I'm going to move that down like that so that then I can put a nice border straight across here. So I'm going to coordinate my patterns again with my semi-solids. I do like to have a little bit of a contrast. And then again I'm going to put a nice border across there. So I'm going to stick this piece in first. Now what you need for the measurements you need for your sections of designer paper that you're going to put over your pocket is a small section is 14 centimetres across by 6.5 centimetres downwards. Okay. So let's get some tape. I think I'll use my 1/2 inch tape for this because it's not that, doesn't need to be that wide. Stick tape all around the edges. Just lift the backing tape up again. And just pop a little bit straight down the diagonal. Just like that. Just to make sure it sticks nice and well. And because this is paper that's just going onto card and it's not going to be bearing any weight, I don't think we need any wet glue on there. I think the tape should hold it quite well. So I bring this down and line the edges. There we go. Just line it up, try and eyeball it so it's straight at the top, straight on the two edges there. Stick it down. Then when we put the flap for our pocket there, as you can see, that's going to cover up. And it also, we're not using up too much of our designer paper, which, as we know, we all want to keep hold of us for as long as we can, especially Graphic 45, because I absolutely adore it. Okay, so then what we need to do is just stick this flap down here to make the pocket. So again, I'm going to turn that round, get my 1/2 inch tape again. Oops, actually no I won't. I'm going to take the 1/4 inch tape like I told you before. Sorry about that, because obviously we want as much room, because this is going to be a pocket, we want as much room to put our photo mat in there as possible. So I'm going to take my 1/4 inch tape. Again, I'm going to have all the supplies written down in the description box at the bottom of the video. So pop that as near to the end as we can get it, like that. Take the backing off of our tape. And then again I'm going to use some of my wet glue just straight along the tape, just up to the edge, and then on the other side. There we go. And then hopefully, if I've lined all this up correctly, all we have to do now is just flip it down and stick the edges down. And then just wipe away any excess glue. Right, if you just excuse me for a second, I'm just going to open the door of my craft room because it's getting quite warm in here. Because it's a lovely, lovely sunny day today, which makes a nice change for the UK. There we go. There we go, so that's another pocket. And then I'm just going to stick my coordinating design paper just on the top of the pocket here. And again, I'm just going to use some tape because that will be strong enough, I think. Remove the backing, and if you've overhung like I have with the tape, as I say, just literally just bend it back and stick it down. There we go, and I'm just going to do one piece across the diagonal. I always do that because then, even if your album is sitting in different sort of climates, if the rooms are getting warm or cooling down a bit, it won't lift in the middle as it will sit nice and flat. Okay, so I'm just going to move my chair out of the way again, and I'm just going to line this up. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, just try and line it up because I'm going to be putting a coordinating border, as I said. Straight across the middle. Okay, so there we go. Right, so these are my photo mats for the pockets, and I've got 2 of those as well. So we're going to want to put our photo mats in the pockets. So, photo mats for your pockets. You need 2 pieces of black cardigan, same weight, and you want them to be 13.5 or 13.5 centimetres across, and you want 15 centimetres down or 15 centimetres deep. Okay, so then I need to get my envelope punch board out again, and what I'm going to do, which I didn't do, I forgot to do, you again want to have your little tab in the middle. So the easiest way I found to do that was to find out, because that's across the width, so let's just check our photo mat which way up it's going to be. Should be this way up, and it should go straight in there. Wiggle it a bit. Okay, so I've made those a little bit too wide. So I think what we need to do is say 12.5. I think it's 12.5 centimetres, so I'm going to change that. And we want 12.5 centimetres by 15 centimetres deep. Okay, so in which case I'm going to get my guillotine out. Let's move everything out the way a little bit. And I'm just going to put my guillotine up on the craft table. Here we are, and if I see the measurements. So what we want to do is get our piece of card and just go to 12.5 centimetres. So we've got 12.5, just under. Just under 12.5. So there, so I'm just going to cut a piece off. So obviously you have to make sure that you make allowances for where your glue is going to be. You won't have to do that if you use hinges. Oh, sorry, squeaky guillotine. If you're using hinges, obviously you won't have to make allowances for the glue. So hopefully now this should fit a little bit better. So I have to remember to do that when I do that should fit now nicely, which it does. Nice, and it's quite tight, but it'll go in. There we are. So I'm just going to slip those in for now. We'll be decorating them afterwards. I'm just going to show you how to do the flip ups next. Right, so first of all we're going to take our little piece of design paper to put at the bottom of the page where the flip up's going to be at the top, and I'm just going to take the tape off. Put it on off camera just for speed. So I'm going to bring the album back in, turn our page over, and I'm just going to line up where we want that piece of paper to be. There we go. And off camera also, I just put some designer paper on the inside of the flip up and some borders just to match the borders that we had on our pocket there. I did the same at the bottom. And I've also put a magnet on each side, inside of it, so that the flip up will just close nicely. And I will show you how to put your magnets on when I add some more little just flip up pages in a minute. So I'm just going to put some tape, some glue on the back. Just make sure I've got it the right way up first. And just put a little bit of our wet glue on the tape lines again. And then I'm going to slide the album across, move my chair out the way again, and just bring our flip up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the album upside down, so then I'm going to have to turn my flip up upside down as well, and we're just going to line it up with the paper. On the edge of the card. Make sure we're straight and push it down. So there we go. That's our flip up in place. And you can see as it flips up, we've now got it all nicely covered in designer paper and matching borders. So there's our two flip ups and our two pockets. And all I've got to do is put a bit of designer paper on the front of that, which I'm going to do probably off camera. So the next thing I'd like to do is to add some little pockets to put some journaling spots in. So I thought I'm going to put one in the back of the album and one on the front cover. So I've cut some card pieces down just here for the front and the back, and what I'm going to do is just add some designer paper onto them. So I've done just two little pieces of card and I'm going to make little pockets just to go in the front and the back cover. So I've put the tape on the back of the designer paper for speed, so I'm just going to take that off. There we go, and I've just made it about ½ centimetre shorter all the way round to what the black card is for the little journal pocket. And I'm just going to line that up, stick that down nicely. There we go. So then on the back side of the pocket we need to put some 1/4 inch tape along the bottom and down the sides. Again, trying to get it as near to the edge as we can. There we go, and I'll take the tape off of that. And then again, just pop a little bit of glue just on the tape. And then I'll open the front cover of the album. Push that down a little bit. Make it nice and flat. And then I'm going to position my pocket right at the edge here. Line it up with my paper. And just push it onto the front cover, inside cover of the album. And then that way, what I've done is I've cut quite a few of the cutter parts off out of the design paper. And I'm going to be putting some black card on the back of them, but I'm not going to do that on camera. I'll do that later because obviously I'm sure you know just how to add some black card. And then we can just put the little journaling pieces in there like that. But also I'm going to add something on the front of the cover, front inside cover, so I'm going to add a little card that's going to go like so. And this little card I've made 10 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. So obviously to make this card you just double it, so it's 20 centimetres along there by 19 centimetres, yes, 20 centimetres long by 19 centimetres. So then you can fold it in half. And I've got a piece of design paper that I'm going to put on there, and that's this one. I'm going to put this on the front. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on there. There we go, and I've purposely made it just that little bit smaller across the actual width of the card. Oops, I can straighten that up, just make sure that's nice and burnished down. And I'm going to put that towards the left hand edge of the card, like so. Because then what I'm going to add at the side is one of the little borders that you get, the little ribbon borders that you get in the collection. And probably what I'm going to stick down, it's this one. It says, "Forever mine, forever thine, forever ours," on there. And I'm literally just going to stick a little bit of that just on the end. So if I just get my little snippy scissors and just cut that off there, pop a little bit of glue on the back. I'm going to put a piece of paper down just so that I don't get glue on my work surface. Stick a little bit of glue all the way along the ribbon. Like that. And then I'm going to put it up, I think, that way. So go in the middle. Just wiggle it a little bit. Make sure that's straight. There we go, and then that will stick. Okay, so this I'm going to put just here. I'm going to stick it down just like that, so you've got some more room for some more photos in there. And then you've also got your journaling spots. So what I think I'll do is I'll place my journaling spots in there so I can see what sort of size I want it to be. These lovely journaling spots as well. Some nice little sentiments of them. Music gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. And at the bottom it says, "Let me call you sweetheart." So I'm going to pop them in there. Probably get some short ones actually. Go, we have enough room to pop that up. So I'm going to put it at a bit of a crafty angle. Sorry about that, just readjusting my camera. But first of all, what I'm going to do is show you how to put magnets in. So I've got some just pink, pastel pink card to put in for the inside of the pages so that they can be like your little photo mats inside. So I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna get one of my magnets, and I bought quite small ones. They're about 2mm, 3mm, so they're quite tiny. And then I'm going to decide where I want to have my magnet stuck. So I'm going to put that just there in the middle. I'm going to put a little bit of tape down over the top of it. Oh, this is a bit too long. Just stick some tape straight across the magnet, like that. Turn the edges of tape over. and just across the diagonal. There we go, and then that's my front, so I want this to go just in like that. So that's your photo mat on one side, and then I'll do the same with the other one. Let's get another piece of card, make sure I've got it the right way up. So here, I'll just get my little magnet. These are quite strong as well. They're by a company called omomagnets.com, and I actually got them from eBay, and the magnets actually came in this little silver metal case, because obviously, and it's foam lined as well, because obviously if you get it, see how strong they are. And they were quite reasonably priced as well. I think they were about £7–8 for 100, which I thought was pretty good. So make sure we know where we want our card. Pop my magnet back down roughly in the middle. There. Put a piece of tape straight over the top. Just finish putting the tape around the edges. Of course, the top of the tape doesn't want to lift when you want it to. Just like that. Okay. So then, just want to place this in the same place on the other side, and nice and straight. Pop that down, and then hopefully now, if I've got these in the right place, magnets should close, which they do. Okay, so that's that. So I'm then just going to stick that into my album just there, but again I'm going to do that off camera, because then I can and I can just not bore you with all the taping. So what I'm going to just finish off with, because obviously you've seen, that's what what I've done on the front cover, inside cover here, is the same as I'm going to do on the back. And then also I'm going to put another couple of flip up things, again using magnets. I'm going to put one probably here, and that's going to be front cover, and they're going to be photo mats inside again, so that's going to be probably at a jaunty angle as well. And then I'm going to put another one probably on, let's see where it is, here we are, on here. On there. Okay. And then on the back, again, I'm going to do a little square one just to mirror the other one, and then I'll do another little pocket as well, which I've got the cutter parts here, and I'll pop the pocket there, and then put some more journaling spots and pop that there and cover it. So I'm going to finish off this video by showing you what I intend on doing to the front cover, which I've got some little paper roses, well they're carnations, I think they're like little paper carnations, and I've got got cream ones and white and red ones. So I'm going to take, and they come on wires. I've used these before on other albums that I've made, and they're quite sweet and quite easy to use. So what I tend to do is literally just snip off, probably need bigger scissors for this, just snip off the little wires at the back like that, and then they'll lay nice and flat. So I'll get one where the petals don't look as if they've been crushed. So there's the two red ones that I want. So I'm going to be putting two red ones like that towards the edge, and then I'm going to get a white one cream one and pop it down there. And then once I've done that, I'm going to be gluing those on with a little bit of silicone gel glue, which is the best type of glue to hold embellishments. Hold them nice and tight. And then I'm going to take some more of my little embellishments, journaling spots. You get so many little cut aparts with this paper. Give you just a little sample of them. Lots of different ones here. Lots of music, and then you also get some what look like little stamps, postage stamps, which are pretty. All different prices, stamps, and then you get some little journaling spots like this with different instruments on. So you get quite a lot to choose from. There we are, I don't know if you can still see that. So there is quite a lot when you cut it all up. You could go on and on because there's quite a few cut aparts here. So that's just an example of some of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them onto black card. I'm just going to put them onto black card, and then I'm going to make a little bit of a collage on the front. Do a little bit of an arrangement with them. Not quite sure how I'm going to arrange them yet, but obviously that's part of the fun. Of arranging things, seeing where we're going to put them. I'm basically going to be doing something like that. There we go, that's going to be the front. And then lastly, I've got some little crystal hearts, which are just little crystal hearts on the back of, I don't know if you can see that, they're flat. See that they're flat on the back, and they're the crystal ones there. Got some red and some pink, so I'm probably just going to arrange them randomly on the front cover. And then I've got some more flat backed hearts. I used a lot of the red ones in the album that I made last, which was the Concertina album that I made for my daughter, so I've got most of the pink ones left, and the pink will still go with this album nicely. But also I've got one red one left, so I'm going to pop that straight in the middle, because these actually come with adhesive on the back. but I'm going to pop a little bit of silicone glue and just pop that right in the middle of the flower, like that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of red ribbon. I've got some more embellishments of little keys. So obviously I can put a little bit of red ribbon under one of the keys, thread that through. These all hang down, so I'm just going to take one of them off because they're taped to the back of this at the moment. So I'm going to take one of them off, put a bit of red ribbon through it, snip there so you can have a look, put a little bit of ribbon through it, and probably just hang it down just under the flowers. Have it just hanging down off of a little bit of ribbon. So that's going to be the front of my cover. So in the next video, the final part of this trilogy, if you like, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the completed album for you to see just what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. Until I come back again, please take care and happy crafting.